Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on November 19th, 2023. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet. Welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update as well. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Grateful to have you watching right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Having a look here, the last 48 hours, imagery of our sun. You'll see quite a few plasma shots taking off from the surface. Lots of filaments dancing around. And as well, fiery incoming sunspot regions. Looking closer here at the incoming and cresting into view sunspot regions. Left-hand side, sizable. Right-hand side, even bigger. Getting ready for an Earth-facing view. Last 48 hours outgoing, we did see a plasma filament in the southern hemisphere, which is the right-hand side. Whip around there, and as well, opposite in the northeast. Closer look here at those regions. Plasma filaments. It's been a busy 48 hours. No major solar flares, but we did have the one minor M-class, and we reported 3 C-class solar flares in the past 2 days. Having a look at multi-spectrum here. Coronal hole regions blackened. And as well dark lined regions, which are filaments stretching across the surface. Yesterday we were showing that solar tornado in the top left northwest of our sun, and it is still intact. Plasma filament turning in. Having a look at 171 angstroms here. We now have 3 sunspot regions. One that has turned away. One in the southern hemisphere, and another one developing in the north. Closer view at the regions here. And of course, cresting into view, lots of activity coming from that sunspot region. Should be interesting when it comes in. Current space weather conditions, we are under R1, minor radio blackout impacts expected, as well G1, minor geomagnetic storm impacts are expected as well. And we were talking about that the last couple days. Solar winds right now are coming in at 324 kilometers per second. Solar X-ray flux hopping right up into a strong C range today after seeing 2 C-class solar flares and 2 minor M-class solar flares the last 2 days. Geomagnetic activity very low right now, but that is set to change. Having a look at Space Weather Prediction Center, Space Weather Spiral, little green circle is Earth, showing the sun's energy coming from the center there. As we were showing yesterday, the double shot CMEs heading towards or possibly under Earth. ISWA Space Prediction Spiral showing a couple new CMEs taking off in the outgoing direction. And that was that plasma filament shown in the northeast region of our sun. Watching on the right-hand side there, showing the most recent space weather activity coming in later tonight. Looking at LASCO 3 here, the last 2 days of space weather energy, showing a pretty decent CME taking off from the south. And as well, those notable plasma shots taken off yesterday. Now let's get to earthquakes, brought to you by Daily Events Worldwide, as we did have a strong 6.0 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Japan. Yokohama, Japan, 6.0 magnitude. And just south of there, I was going to put out an earthquake warning video today. 598 kilometer depth, 5.9 deep in the Marianas Trench, and as well followed by a 4.4. So we're expecting a larger earthquake to come right after that, but I didn't think it was going to come that soon. 52 kilometer depth, 6.0 magnitude rocked Japan. USGS reporting 178 earthquakes, 24-hour period right now. And no major swarms to talk about, and these are pretty low numbers considering we should be up and over the 200s. Yokohama, Japan, 52 kilometer depth here, they're saying on USGS. looking across American soil. Notable activity, western Texas and into White City, New Mexico. Swarm starting yet again. Last week we went through the same thing. And then all around the California basin, increasing activity north of San Francisco Bay. A little bit peculiar. Keeping an eye on that, but no major swarms. 3.2 earthquake there, Willow Creek, California. And notable activity up into the Pacific Northwest. Even Okanagan Falls reporting a 2.9 earthquake. Carrying on here, no deep earthquakes through Fiji region. Mexico, southern Mexico, Puerto Madero, 4.4 magnitude reported there. Way too quiet Caribbean today. And some increasing activity through South America, Peru, and southward. Even Central Mid-Atlantic Ridge reporting a 5.3. And that's the last 24 hours for earthquakes. Still reporting low numbers, 175 according to USGS. Let's have a quick look here at the last 7 days for shakers around the world. Largest being the 6.7 that rocked the Philippines just a couple days ago. And just recently, a very deep earthquake, 616 kilometer depth, and then a couple very deep earthquakes, Marianas Trench. Expecting something larger and shallower to follow here. And I think pretty quick. 6.0 Japan, I don't think is enough to release this kind of pressure. So many deep earthquakes the last 7 days. Now let's have a look at Pacific Disaster Center showing the most recent satellite imagery and as well most recent volcanoes getting updated. Got Volcanoes in Indonesia, Sangay in Ecuador, as well as Semeru, Indonesia, Popo in Mexico, Fuego in Guatemala. Lots of flood alerts here through parts of India, Myanmar, coastal regions of Africa. Got Sabancaya in Peru, Reventador in Ecuador, Ibu, Indonesia. And no new volcanoes to really talk about right now, so no volcanic activity report today. Just reporting the most recent volcanoes getting updated, and that's about a dozen today. Having a look at satellite imagery, windy event moving into California, and as well extreme weather rolling out of Argentina, Paraguay, overlooking the Pacific. Lots of moisture lingering around eastern Australia and southward, and as well a very big low here developing through central North Pacific. It is going to bring some pretty extreme winter storm action to the Aleutian Islands and Alaska in the long-range forecast. Overlooking Africa and Europe. Still pretty vigorous system off the coast of United States, and as well a low pressure center moving across the the Black Sea. Have a look at windy models showing precipitation forecast. We do have a low moving in Tuesday into Wednesday. Most likely will be bringing rain and then snow on the backside for Ontario. But then watch for a big low to develop over the Hudson Bay, and another low here to develop for northeast United States, crashing with some very cold temperatures fueling down from the polar vortex as we are setting up for winter 2023, which has kind of been a long time coming. We've had some pretty nice temperatures. I mean, the other day I was disc golfing in a t-shirt here in Ontario when most times we should be below freezing already. Having a look at other major systems across the world, extreme weather to continue through central South America as low gets trapped there, stalled, and then another one develops in the long range. So watch for that extreme weather to continue. Overlooking Europe, Africa, India, low pressure center moving into India, and as well tightly whipped low pressure system moving into the Mediterranean, smashing into some high pressure ridges over North Africa. And then watch for these low pressure centers from the north start to invade Europe, and then you will see the colder temperatures come in. But for now, still above normal. Overlooking Australia, Southeast Asia, lingering low pressure system on the continent of Australia and off the coast, going to continue here for the next few days until it finally funnels off, heads toward New Zealand, and then possible cyclone in the long range developing, heading towards New Zealand off the coast of Australia there. Quick look here at the Pacific Ocean, showing those vigorous systems heading towards Alaska and the Aleutian Islands. Very windy and snowy events there. Heads up, Alaska. Big snowfall totals coming your way. Now let's have a look at the temperature forecast, as below freezing temperatures will be moving in the long range here for North America, thanks to some pretty strong cold lows hanging out over the Hudson Bay. Then overlooking Europe, and as I said, not until the long range forecast, when we get some more northern low pressure systems heading through central regions of Europe, then you will see the winter weather moving in. We'll be here looking at some pretty warm temperatures sweeping across the Australian continent. And as I said, there's a couple lows hanging around, so expect the extreme weather and lots of lightning strikes. Much love, everybody. Thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Stay aware and prepared. Stay young and have fun. And get your daily dew. Bye-bye now. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the world.